Hey, welcome back to Santa's Elf School, 12 Days of Quilting Magic. So for all your little elves out there, if you like to do some hand piecing, then you'll be familiar with this. This is called English paper piecing, but we have a few tips and tricks on how to make it easier. And if you're like myself and you don't enjoy hand quilting or hand piecing as much, because I like the sewing machine, I like the instant gratification. I like the instant gratification of doing it by machine. So, although hand piecing and quilting can also be gratifying too. So, all right, but what we have here today is, this is a product by H&K. It's called EPP Iron-Ons, and what it is a fusible interfacing. And they come pre-cut in all different shapes and sizes. But this is a fusible interfacing. So one side of it is glossy, that has the glue on it. The other side is just a paper mat. This product will wash away in the end. So if you are putting it on a jacket or clothes or something, as you wash it, it'll wash away. It does not leave a heavy residue inside the clothing. Or the product. So there's two different ways that you can use these. The first way is you're going to fuse it onto the back side of your fabric, and then you're going to press around and stitch and base stitch your hexagons. And you would do that for all of them, and then you can sit and stitch them together just like you normally would. Do your English paper piecing. And this is just a project that we made with a charm pack. Or there's smaller sizes that you can stitch together to make this little flower, like a grandmother flower garden. And then we quilted that onto the back of just a regular piece of felt. So that makes like a little mug rug. Okay, so the second method that we use for this is one of my favorites because it's a little bit of more of a time saver. So you're going to take the paper side of the hexagon and you're going to lay it to the wrong side of your fabric. And what I've done here is cut out about 1/2 inch to 3/8 of an inch all the way around the excess, or basically I cut off around it. I used a charm pack, so I just cut off the corners. And I'm going to take an iron. And you don't really have to have steam, but it helps. And then I'm just going to lightly crease the outer edge of my hexagon. I'm going to fold it over and crease it again. And I'm just going in a clockwise or counterclockwise method. It doesn't really make a difference which way you go, but you just go all the way around it. I've got water on that. Oh, you don't want to use water, now that I remember. Don't use steam, because this is water soluble, so it'll affect the paper. The paper will start to dissolve. And then lastly, just go around here and give this a little press. And now I have a good sharp edge, and my hexagon is completely enclosed. All my edges are turned under. These little flippy pieces here, they'll be fine. That's part of the seam allowance. And I'll show you what else we can do with it. All right, so now we have the beginnings of what we're calling, this is the hexagon pillow. This pattern has multiple different options in it, as you can see on the back here. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make mine in this setting here. So I've got all my pieces cut, and I've basted them to where the shiny side is on the outside of the fabric, or outside of my hexagon. And now I've just gone and pressed them and positioned them on the back of my background fabric. And you can see where I have lines drawn. Those are going to be my quilting lines. That stitch is going to keep these hexagons from coming off in the future, and it's going to quilt it all at the same time. So I'll just have to finish basting all my other small hexagons and placing them where they need to go, and then I can quilt it. Okay, so now, like I said, I'd like to do this by machine and make things quickly, especially when you're pressed for time, like when you're busy and you like to quilt more and stress less. So I've got my stitch picked out here. I'm going to call this it kind of looks like a ladder or a stepping stone. There's a couple different ones that you can choose, but the ones that you want to choose is any of the ones that go to the left and to the right. So 26, 27, I've got 28, 29 will work too. Any of the ones that will jump from side to side and kind of stitch down the middle, those will work. So let me show you how it's done. Now I've basted 2 of my hexes together, and I'm placing a mirror image, or I'm matching them just directly one right up to the other. And I'm going to go to the machine. I'm using a utility foot that has a slit in the middle, and I know that my needle is going to go up and down through the middle, but then it's going to come over to each side and take a bite and join these together. Got my needle right up to the groove of my hexes, and we'll just go. And you can adjust the stitch to be wider or more narrower depending on if you want it to be seen. You can use matching thread, and make sure you tie off. But that's the end result, would match them together. What you would do is continue to put these together in rows, like horizontally, and then when you match up your rows, you would just kind of zigzag stitch back and forth. So if you like what you've seen today, make sure you subscribe to our channel and quilt more and stress less.